on the border of Indiana and Illinois most of the afternoon, waiting for initiation, and things started popping up here right on the Indiana-Illinois-Kentucky border. So I've actually crossed the border into Kentucky, and as you can see straight ahead of us is a cell that, actually two cells merged south of Owensboro. It's heading southeast, and so I'm behind it. I'm northwest of it, but it's a pretty slow mover, so I should be able to catch up to it shortly and see what we got. Currently it's not thunderstorm warned. It's kind of right in the middle of 3 radar towers, so it's really kind of hard to get a feel for it, but it certainly looks pretty good. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I knew when I left today to chase, you know, there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunities to chase in the Ohio Valley, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky area, which when I chase locally, those would usually be the 3 states I would consider chasing in. There haven't been a whole lot of opportunities, and I know we're coming up on a dry spell for a couple weeks, and the Stormfront Freaks podcast, we are doing our chase week May 19th through the 24th in the plains or wherever the storms are going to be at that point. Hopefully there will be some, but I haven't gotten out this year, so wanted to test all the equipment, obviously test this live stream because we will be live streaming our chase, and just kind of wanted to test things. I knew it was great potential today. Certainly wasn't willing to go too far west. I didn't want to get any further into Illinois. There were some good storms in Missouri today, this afternoon. They're still going. They're all pretty slow moving storms, 25-30 miles an hour, moving originally east and now kind of southeast. But I wasn't going to go that far west because I have to get back I live near Cincinnati, and I have to drive back tonight and work tomorrow and all that fun stuff, so I didn't want to get too far west. So I figured I would just jump on anything that would happen in this area. And there's actually a cell that's popped up just to my west, and so depending on how close I get to this one that is actually southeast of me and going southeast, if I can't pull off this one, I might stick around and see what happens to this one to the west. Where I'm at, it's the one I'm heading southeast, but I'm actually gaining on it. It's funny, it looks further away here than it actually does, but you can see there's a little bit bigger one to my west, a little bit southwest, and that's really blown up here in the last probably 15 minutes, so I might keep an eye on that. pretty healthy. That's why I like it, and try and stay on this one. Sun, and it's kind of really just dark gray, so it's really hard to see what that one looks like, and obviously this one here southeast of me, I got a good feel for it. It's almost, I'm getting almost due north of it now. It's almost south. Intercept that storm then. So I'm going to try and turn this a little east. Sorry, south, so you can see the edge of the storm. Kentucky's a little hit and miss. Out west is certainly better chasing than East Kentucky. East Kentucky, you start getting close to West Virginia. Much more hills, trees, all that stuff. It's actually, you're heading central Kentucky. Hills aren't as bad, but the road networks still really stink. You get off the interstates and off the main highways, and you're going to wind all over the place. And I'm not as familiar with the road network. Certainly I've chased quite a bit in Kentucky, but I don't necessarily remember what roads are better than which. And I hate getting off the beaten path, because then I usually just get stuck and I'm wasting time twisting and turning, and sometimes I'll get motion sick doing that crap as well. So I'm heading into Owensboro, Kentucky, and we're going to loop on Highway 60. We're going to loop around the south end of Owensboro to hit 165. And then at that point we'll be heading southeast. It should have a good view of the storm from the direction we're going, because it's the storm itself east, but it's blowing, the tops are blowing certainly southeast, so it should, from the angle where we'll be coming at, we should certainly are tuning in. Again, if you haven't checked out our podcast, Stormfront Freaks podcast, we're a top 10 natural science podcast in Apple Podcasts. We've tried to put everything up on the website, and we're getting ready for the second year of our team chase. So there's about 5 of us from the podcast that last year went out on a plains chase in May, and then this year we're doing it again. And this is where I need to take this exit. So we're going to be heading out May 19th through the 24th. I'm a little worried about the prospects of storms right now for the middle of May. There's always going to be storms, so we'll always have something to chase. Like chasing today. This isn't some amazing storm. I'll get you focused here now. Straight ahead, you can see it. So there's always going to be storms to chase, and so that's the fun in doing it with friends that you know. But that's May 19th through the 24th, and like I'm doing now, so this is kind of the test. We did stream last year, and you can find those storm chases at our YouTube page, youtube.com/stormfrontfreaks. But we'll be doing the same thing this year as far as streaming. When we get into chase mode, we'll start streaming that, and if there's nothing to chase, we'll find something stupid to do, and we'll probably stream that as well. Who knows? But certainly go to youtube.com and our site, which you're probably watching now, and make sure you subscribe, because if you subscribe to the page, then when we do go live and start streaming, you'll be able to get a notification, as long as you've checked and asked for notifications from our Stormfront Freaks site. Then you'll be notified about it, all that good stuff. And today's kind of a slow day, so if you happen to be watching me chase some mediocre stuff, certainly give me a like, give our page a like, and all that fun stuff. And I appreciate you tuning in. This gives you something good to look at and watch for a little bit. All right, so again, we're looping down now the south end of Owensboro. And we're looking for Interstate 165. That'll take us southeast. And should take us right to this thing. Keep looking at that storm to my west. Look like Morganfield, Kentucky is where it's at right now. That's looking pretty healthy on radar. But that's definitely getting the upper part of the storm, because it's kind of right in the middle of a trifecta of 3 radar sites. This one storm now is getting into Beaver Dam, Kentucky, which is where I'm heading. And it's just off to our right. Again, neither this Beaver Dam storm that I'm heading towards or the Morganfield one off to the west, neither of them are thunderstorm warned. We are in the thunderstorm watch area. We're on the far east side of it. Yeah, it's actually has just gone out. pretty much have the storm right in front of us. So the mesoscale discussion says deep convection continues to gradually expand along the frontal corridor across Missouri early this evening. Have recently intensified across southwest Missouri with trailing towers several hours. Isolated strong severe storms may ultimately develop just west of the watch, but this convection would tend to move toward western portions. Hail's likely with the strongest updrafts. But they're still outlining the same area, which does include western Kentucky and the southwest tip of Indiana. Might go through just a little bit of rain before we get to the updraft portion of this storm. Some nice cumulus there though. Billowing out pretty good. So we're starting to get close. So my thought is this is not going to produce a tornado, more than likely. Double check the velocity. I don't know. There's an interesting little just south of Centertown, Kentucky. I'm seeing a little bit of rotation there. Challenge is we're so far away from a radar. Than if I get too far under the base. And the base is actually to my west, so it's kind of coming towards me. I mean, not directly at me, but it's coming this way. So I think I'm going to pull over next exit I've got, just to take some photos and because there's a nice tower like right ahead of us here, just to the left. It's a good looking tower. That's going up too. It's basically another cell. It's a smaller cell, but it's another cell north of the bigger one, whose base is off to the right. But that baby's going up. Pretty high base. You can see it ahead of us. Again, just off the left. It's dark beneath it. But you look straight at the tower that's in the sun. Oh, I like that. That looks good. That's a good looking storm right there. So I was expecting pretty much nothing today. Nothing too great. Like I said, it was just an opportunity to take the day and chase and get it under my belt and get the gear tested out. As of right now, if this was as good as it got, I'd be happy. I would be happy with this. Much more than I was expecting just even a couple hours ago. We're about under it. Still no exit in sight. So I think I'm just gonna keep going. We're gonna get past this new little storm that's been the tower firing up here ahead of us. We're now about under it. We're gonna head past that, and I'm just gonna start heading towards so you can see we are almost under that one storm right here that was just firing up, or not just firing up, but obviously growing. This is the one that now is off to our west. It's really slow moving. I'm just gonna keep heading south until we get kind of just due east of this thing. I think that's going to be the plan. Maybe then what I can do is wait for it to pass in front of me, heading east. Oh, it really slowed down. But wait for it to pass, and then I can keep heading southeast and then get south of it. Because the challenge is here we are in Kentucky. I don't have, from here, I don't have a whole lot of options straight east. My option is to keep heading southeast towards Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I wouldn't have to go that far southeast. However, to get back to the Cincinnati area where I'm from, I might end up having to go that way anyways, just to get back north. Fun. See the hills. Kentucky hills. Hey, I will share this. So, fun fact, we've got coming up this week episode 183 of the Stormfront Freaks podcast. We are entertaining two guests. It's from the Storm Photographer of the Year contest, otherwise known as the Stormies. It was this year's winners, the 2023 winners, and we have Jim Tang, who was the Storm Photographer of the Year, will be one of our guests, and Paige Vincent, who won the Storm Photograph of the Year. She will also be our guest, so look forward to talking storms and photography, which is something I'm not great at. I always want to learn more. A lot of times I don't have the patience to really be competent at it, but it's always good to get tips and feedback from people that are really good at it. And so look forward to talking to Jim and Paige. We're live Thursday night is when we record at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. But that currently is exclusive only to our Patreon members as far as the live broadcast goes. We do have some exciting announcements to be making soon on our broadcast of that, but currently that's exclusive to our Patreon at patreon.com/freaks. Go to stormfrontfreaks.com. The link is on there as well, and you can become a member. Might finally have an exit coming up ahead. All right, this Beaver Dam storm, the base doesn't look as exciting on radar as it did a few minutes ago. But I'm going to pull off here. I'll bring the stream outside. Like baby's got a little hail core under there now as well, or it's just getting closer to a radar site. All right, what should we do? Looks like there might be a school up here. Whoops, sorry about that. if I should head into Beaver Dam, and I would Kentucky, and again just on the north edge of this storm. Whose base is just looks like it's to the west of us. It's really slowed down. I was hoping this thing would kind of move past me, go east, move a little past me so I could get by it without having to punch through it. So I could be on the south side, and I don't know if that'll happen. Go west out of Beaver Dam to McHenry, Kentucky. Didn't think I'd have to backtrack west, but that's what we're gonna do. Reposition the camera a little better. Alright, so here's where we're at. Turn. Alright, so we're on our way to McHenry, Kentucky. It's the next town here in front of us. I had to backtrack a little west to try and get to this, get closer to the base of the storm. We are going towards Rockport, Kentucky. So we're about to get a little wet. So because this thing hasn't moved, I'm going to take a left here. This looks interesting. Because this thing hasn't moved, it is wet. Roads are very wet right now. Oh, sorry. Train tracks. I think we're on Bob's Road. Right now, it's over the circulate. There is circulation on this thing. Again, we're up a little high because of where the radar is coming from, but it's right over Rockport, Kentucky. If you happen to have a map or your own radar, check that out. Rockport, Kentucky. You can see the circulation. It's not super defined and very pixelated, but it is there. And I'm trying to think where I want to take this. I'm going to go right. Keep heading towards Rockport. Try and get south of Rockport. We're like right under it right now. Open my moon roof here, sunroof. Now, the only problem is we are surrounded by trees, so I need to get out of this. And this is what I hate. Get off the beaten path in Kentucky, and here's what you got. So, now we are south. We have coming up east And my fears of Kentucky road networks have struck. All right, so currently it is now just to our left, the storm, and the base is kind of just to the left. Probably up a little bit further. Ooh, this is such a slow mover though, holy cow. So we're currently going east. Due east of Rockport, Kentucky, and south of McHenry. If you have a map, we're at. The storm is again just kind of to our left, just a little to our left. We're going to start getting in the rain again because it is going southeast slightly. So because we're going to hit, it's interesting. The potential rotation is actually, and you know what? Guess what? I've got a slight view right here. There's no one around. So we're looking at the spot of the storm, somewhat of the base here, that's showing the most rotation, and you can see it in the clouds. There's nothing concrete. It's just a lot of movement in a lot of different directions. I'm not seeing anything overly dynamic. keep it right here. How you doing?
Everything broke down, are you?
Yeah, no, we're just getting some of the storm. Thanks. Certainly clouds going in a lot of different directions, that's for sure. This shot right here reminds me a little bit of the movie Twister when they're coming up the hill before the boat goes flying past them. Ooh, a little lightning there, cloud to cloud. It's kind of interesting spot. Look at this, kind of right by a pond. Anyway. So, I'll put you down just for a sec right there. Figure out when to tank. Alright, so still going southeast. So I need to go southeast. I'm going to run into 369 from here. And I think going back in the car. nice little gap. That was a nice little opening on this road. Head. An opening here. Ooh, good ahead. I want to get, it's gotten a little east. Here, what's this? Ooh, slow down. Yeah, what do we got? Alright, so we want what's south of us here. Take a few photos. There's what we're. Yikes, we're getting too far. Kentucky trees. But if you saw that, did you see the base? That's what we were looking for. That's what we couldn't see by the pond. So my hope is we get a clearing up ahead, because it's to our right, it's to our west, southeast right now. Oh, come on, give me a clearing before this thing dies and it gets too dark. We're heading into Cool Springs, Kentucky. Oh gosh, there we go. Here's what we wanted. We're gonna stop and back up. No cars are around us. Turn on my hazards. We're gonna unplug you and show you the base. There we go. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Oh, that's pretty. There we go. Should I try and get my good camera out? I'm gonna pull the Nikon out, and I know little to nothing about this. Pretty much everything I learned from Greg Johnson's cameraeasy.ca class, which is online. Let's see what we can get. Here's what happens. I end up pulling this thing out, and then I just put it in auto. That's something. So that is actually heading this way, so we should actually really get a nice shot of this as it's coming in. So that is sweet. Trying to post some stuff on social. All right, so it's coming in. Turn you a little bit. So it is going a little southeast. It is due. We're almost looking due east right now. And again, to give you an idea of where we are, I don't know how well this is going to show up on the GoPro feed. I should check do this. There we go. All right. So it gives you an idea where we are, and you can see, look where the precipitation is and where we are, and this thing's coming at us going southeast. So the base of this storm really isn't even showing any precipitation. It's not raining right now, which is so awesome. And remember that storm I was talking about earlier, that was west of us in Kentucky. It has gone severe thunderstorm warned, and it is near Dixon, Kentucky. So as this thing is dying out, as it is. We are just gonna sit here unless I can find a better location. But we're just gonna sit here and wait for the other one maybe to come in, because it's not too far away. Although, let's see how fast it's going. These things are going pretty slow, which is cool, but 30 miles an hour. All right, it's probably gonna get dark before it gets here. Take some more shots. So again, today was just kind of a test day. I wanted to test all my equipment. Haven't been out chasing yet because Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky have been pretty quiet. But today there was a shot, and we took the shot. I wanted to test the equipment. And equipment tested. The stream seems to be working. You know what I haven't done is I haven't checked to see if we got anybody making comments. I apologize. When you're chasing solo, it's hard to keep track of all that stuff. So I'm gonna quick check that while we're hanging out. You can see it's really starting to lose some structure.